I do not align with this. You should just stop listening.
Most people do that.
Most people do that, except we got a million white people
Listening
going
to
all
rap.
over the world, going to Drake concerts and Kendrick concerts and what's his name? What's his name? We're gonna call WizKid concerts. But I'm really not talking about WizKid. I'm talking about
Wiz
the other
Khalifa.
kid. No, not Wiz Khalifa. I'm talking about African artists. The one with the dreads, the one that sings Taliban.
Uh,
Burna Boy. We got all these white people at Burna Boy concerts, and you're gonna tell me that the music is meant for you. You're shy because I put my hair in right.
Nah, I'm not shy. I'm just saying, like, that's the whole point why you got this book right here.
I'm not no longer talking to white people. She's talking about my edges. My edges.
Look, she got bad edges too.
That's not. And mind you, that's how they look on camera. They don't look like that when you look at them up close. Like they look more older, but the camera has like glossy effect that makes it not look like they're there. But they're actually growing in right now. This whole area is growing in because it's all the way down here. It's growing in. It's pulling out. And I haven't even started taking my vitamin in, and then I'll have a full thing of edges. What gets me mad, what really upsets me, and like me and my homegirls, is that the fact that I be watching these videos online of people with their parents or their moms or their aunties and stuff, and they be like, "Oh, bitch, you get fat. You need to slow down on your eating." And bitch, you're a hog. You're 2 times my size, telling me that I need to slow down. When did you slow down? How you gonna tell me I need to get up to the gym and you've never even seen a weight? You don't even know. You don't even know how to row. You get out of breath. You get out of breath just sitting down on the row machine. But this thing said I can beat you up. You can beat me up because I'm sick. Because I'm sick. My nose is just stuffy. That doesn't affect my arm.
Yeah, doesn't affect your hands.
That doesn't affect my hands or my
Or
arm.
my
But my
feet.
nose is stuffy.
Or my feet.
Or my feet. This is so crazy. Mind you, if you try to jump me, Fred automatically jump in. I'm trying to figure out who do you think you gonna fight. Fred probably gonna fight you. But she realized it's serious. She was like, stop! Because I told her that.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, you did.
you just gotta start screaming. But I'm just saying, people should be. I do believe to a certain extent that people shouldn't say the N word at all. I do believe that people shouldn't say the N word at all. But also, I believe even more that people shouldn't be comfortable in spaces that are not meant for them. It's like this tall people versus short people thing. Like the tall people link up. If we're linking with tall people, right, and I have to be a certain height to link up, it's like you gotta be a certain height. You have to be a certain height to get on this roller coaster, right? Like yes we do like to like segregate things, but sometimes it's for your own safety. Sometimes it's for your own safety. Listen, we don't really think that this is a club that's meant for women because it gets a little reckless out here. Like you can come if you want to, just know that it can get like that for you. No, I'm not driving. But I feel like maybe I'm tripping. Maybe I'm part of the problem. But you're not answering me. You think
You
I'm part
never
of the
asked the
problem?
question.
I did. I was like, maybe I'm part of the problem. That was my question.
That's not a question.
All
You're
right,
just
bro.
saying that you're part of the problem. I can negate that.
I
Why
don't
do you
know.
Why do you think you're part of the problem?
Because I believe low key is through segregation. I
Okay,
think
yeah,
segregation
you are
is
part of the
fine.
problem.
I think segregation is fine.
Okay.
I'm gonna tell you why though. Because y'all are making. No, I'm not driving. Can I type this?
starter QA is crazy.
Yeah, because I was like, I don't know how else to do it. I live right in my piece. I can't do it anywhere else. Alright, y'all. So, but yeah, so I feel like, yeah, segregation is not cool, but it's not cool in the way that, what do you not like about segregation?
What do I not like about segregation?
Yeah.
Um, the the dividing of resources because one may have
So
better
who told you
resources
that
than
the
the other.
resources were going to be divided?
I'm telling you what I didn't like about segregation, but segregation, in my understanding, is not what you're trying to say.
Okay, go ahead. You said you don't like the dividing of resources.
Yes,
I,
I don't like the dividing of resources
all right.
because one side, if it's either tall or short people, maybe short people have less of a chance to do something as opposed to tall people. But segregation was more so race-wise. It wasn't height or anything like that. So that's what I'm thinking of segregation.
Okay. So segregation systematically involved the unequal division and distribution of resources, and so it's like that separate but equal thing. All right, then. But I feel like if segregation operated exactly how we actually wanted to operate it, and we said, okay, like it's like a sports team, like all right, we're all on the basketball team, but we're not gonna play on the same team, right? Like so, we're not gonna have
We're all on
girls.
the
We're not gonna
basketball
have girls
team.
and boys on the same basketball team. There's gonna be a girls team. There's gonna be a boys team. As long as the girls get a ball, they get a uniform, they get everything that the boys team gets, then it's fine. Like, yes, some girls are going to be better than other girls, and some boys are going to be better than other boys, and some girls might even be better than the boys. But we all have equal resources. We all have the things that we need to play the game. So everything, whether you're better than someone else on the team or whether you're better than someone else on the opposite team, has nothing to do with the game team. It has nothing to do with the shoes. Y'all all got shoes. It has nothing to do with the jersey. Y'all all got jerseys. It has nothing to do with the balls. They all got balls. We all got hoops. They're either the same size or they're accurate for what would benefit your team. Like I don't know. I know like kids hoops are smaller, but I don't know if girls hoops are smaller. I know the ball is different. Like if we looked at it and we said, all right, these are the advantages that would make this equal to this group of people. That would make it so that we're all playing on some type of an equal playing field. If we took that into account, we separated by that, looked at these people, all right, this is exactly what they would need so that we're playing on the exact, we're playing on the exact equal play. And I feel like segregating is fine because we already do it all the time. The only issue with segregation is what you said. Nobody's getting the equal resources. Like if you know that affluent white communities have a lot of resources, they're making a lot more money, then we should put affluent black communities at an equal playing field. If you know that white poor communities are already at a disadvantage, but they still have more of an advantage than others, then the benefits that each party gets should level to that in such a way. Does that make sense?
Yes, you're not tripping. You're not tripping, but there are people that would want more resources than another person.
Okay.
That's not necessarily your fault. That's just how the world works.
I understand like people would want more resources, people want more resources and they want more handouts than other people. But if we're already taking into account what you would absolutely need, then the rest is up to you. The rest is up to you to get better at. The rest is up to you to excel in. Because nobody, you can't say everybody's going to be an equal person. No, not everybody's going to be an equal person, but everyone should have an equal opportunity.
Yes, everybody should have an equal opportunity. because of how segregation works. It's not going to be equal. Am I making sense?
I guess inherently.
Like inherently right now, not everybody's gonna want people to be equal because that takes away power from that person.
The problem. You're thinking about people being equal. I'm not talking about people being equal. I'm talking about separation.
Okay.
So that we have equal opportunity. I feel like it's easier for us to come.
Do you think there's an infinite amount of resources?
If I argue with you over my needs as a woman, right?
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, well, I don't need that because I'm a man. These are my needs as a man. When it makes sense for me to keep arguing with you back and forth, like, of what my needs are, and you have different needs, than to go find someone that's like-minded as me, has the same needs, and then we talk about it, they're like, all right, we figured out exactly what our needs are. Because right now, if we're going back and forth, and you're telling me, I'm telling you you're my needs, and you're like, oh, well, these are my needs. But we both have different needs, right? You're not actually listening to the point that I can talk through to the point of how we can get my needs together. But then someone has some similar needs. Maybe they don't have all the same needs as me, but they have a good amount of similar needs. Now we can talk to a problem like, oh, okay, well, I do have that need. This is how we can get that done. We can get this done. Now we can come back and come to someone else who has nothing, knows nothing about my background or what my needs are, and then be like, okay, well, we figured out we just need this. So, like, this is how we're going to do this. That makes sense.
Yeah.
Because if you're saying, oh, well, we don't have resources, we have resources, we want your resources, then I need my resources, then you're just going back and forth. You're wasting all this time going back and forth. You haven't even come up with an actual solution. The solution isn't the resources, because there's resources, there's enough resources for everyone, everywhere. The solution is not the resource. The solution is the opportunity to gain those resources.
So providing people more opportunity.
Yes, but equal chance and opportunity, so that not one party is getting more opportunity than the other party. There's a point in time where Black people weren't getting good job opportunities just based off of their name. Like, if they looked at the name, they couldn't pronounce how the name was wild. They were like, yeah, we're not gonna go with it. We're gonna go with John Wick. We're gonna go with John Smith. We're gonna go with David Burns type shit. So, like, we can't just be looking at stuff and be like, oh, they're a woman. Even in Salisbury, there were like a couple of jobs that I applied for near campus. I knew they're on campus jobs. They're right by that little Rose Center that they created. I don't know if you remember or if you saw, but there were a couple of restaurants over there that only guys worked there because they wouldn't hire girls.
Yes.
Like like I went up there and they said, oh yeah, we don't hire girls. Girls can't do what we do here. And I'm like, what is it that you think I can't do? And like, it's simple shit like just loading the chicken. I can't work the register. Mind you, they closed down now, but it's just the fact that that's not equal opportunity. And then you got a whole bunch of roles in here. You're not giving equal opportunity. Like, you can't tell a girl she can't work in construction because she's a girl. Why can't I work in construction? And so then we segregate it in jobs and division. There's so much division in that. I'm not saying that we should. Maybe I am saying that. I'm not saying that we should segregate places of business or schools. I am saying
The deeper we get into this conversation, the more you are for segregation. And segregation, by definition, is about the separation of resources, and it's not
segregation. I'm talking about the definitions. I'm talking about more of separation. So,
okay, people can be separated, but it's not like there's a abundance of resources for people. It's not, unfortunately.
There is an abundance of resources for people. there's just people hogging the resources, and I feel like I guess the reason why I said it as segregation is because I feel like if we're all hogging all the chips, and we're like, these guys are over here scrambling for a few chips, and I got all 50 chips. And it's like,
the least you could do is give out 2 of your chips to
like,
each person.
Like, let me get at least. Maybe I'm not arguing for segregation. Maybe I'm arguing for communism. I think that's actually what I'm arguing for.
Okay. So you're arguing for the community to all be equal. Because that's basically what communism is.
Communism is the opposite of capitalism. I just don't understand. I never really understood what we have against communism.
Capitalism, you're trying to capitalize on a resource, and that makes
communism doesn't give you the opportunity to capitalize, because as soon as you hit over a certain amount, they take that.
Yes.
And that's what their issue is. They don't like that.
They don't like that everybody is stuck to a set amount. They don't like being limited.
They don't like the idea of being limited.
Yes.
So you
people
also don't like that idea.
People want to be.
Hungry without a house, without a car, without education.
Yes. Not worry about people at the bottom. Even people in the middle are not worried about people at the bottom. They're worried about getting to that 1%. Everybody wants to be in that top 1%. And the more you want to do that, the more you're going to step over people that aren't fortunate enough to get to where you're at.
Okay, so if we look at it like this, right?
So the opportunities that you're talking about.
Okay, let's say so we're assuming that communism stops us at what point? What is the bare minimum?
I don't know. I'm not a communist connoisseur.
Alright. So I don't know anything about communism. I just know like a little bit of information about it. So if we're gonna say, let's say like hypothetically 50K, right? Hypothetically 50K is our minimum wage for everyone everywhere, right? Whether you're a communist, whether you're a capitalist, 50K is like what people need as the bare basics to live, right? All right. So 50K, if you're in a capitalist society, you're not gonna be happy with it. You're gonna need like a million a year, right? But in a communist state, that 50K is cool for you to live.
The average person is able to live off of 50K or whatever the limit is.
The average person decides that. What if the average happy Thanksgiving? What if the average person decides that 50K is not enough, right? And they all collectively decide that we actually need like 200K because we need to be able to travel, we need to be able to have this, that, and the third. So if everyone in the
government should.
If everyone in the communist society decides we actually need more than the average, we need about like 300K, like we're gonna put a specific amount. We're not gonna say 50K. We're not gonna say a million. But we need like 300K for us to live our lives to our full capacity. And now we've agreed that everyone needs that, and the communist society is provided to everyone. Can that be done?
Yes and no. Because not everybody subscribes to communism. So there's always going to be a set amount of people that are going to be either capitalist, socialist, Marxist. There's going to be that type of pushback that you're going to be dealing with. So at some point you're going to be limited